Konnichiwa, welcome to Learn Japanese with Masa Sensei. This is episode 131. Today in this episode, we will learn about causative form, ni causative sentence and o causative sentence. Now let's go. Previously, we learned about causative form. So this is just a review how to use causative form. When you change a verb to the causative form, you have to pay attention to whether the verb is transitive or intransitive. For refresher, transitive verbs are those that take an object, and intransitive verbs are ones that usually don't. The subject of the verb from which the causative verb is formed, in other words, the person who does the actual action and not the causation, is marked by either the particle o or the particle ni in the causative sentence. We call those causative sentences which use ni as ni causative sentences and those which use o as o causative sentences. Now let's go through from ni causative sentences. Ni causative sentences is used when the verb which expresses the action is verb transitive. When the verb which expresses the action is verb transitive, then ni causative sentence is used regardless of whether the object is expressed or not. The structure will be A は B に something or causative form. So for example, I make my son clean his room. Son is 息子. Room is 部屋. Clean the room will be 部屋を掃除します. So we will change 掃除します into causative form. This will be 掃除させます. So it will become like this. 私は息子に部屋を掃除させます。私は息子に部屋を掃除させます。So again, if it's ni causative sentence, the structure is A は B に something を causative form. Another example. The manager made him write a report. Manager is 部長. To write a report is レポートを書きます。So we will change this 書きます into causative form. 書かせます。部長は彼にレポートを書かせました。I made my younger brother read a book. Younger brother is 弟. To read a book is 本を読みます。We will change 読みます into causative form. 読ませます。私は弟に本を読ませました。I made my wife bring a tea. Wife. If you want to say my wife, you can use 妻. Or there's another expression, 家内. If you want to say your wife, this will be 奥さん. Or if you want to be polite, it will be 奥様. In this case, the sentence is I made my wife bring a tea. So we will use 妻. To bring a tea is お茶を持ってきます。So 持ってきます means bring. We will change this into causative form. 持ってこさせます。私は妻にお茶を持ってこさせました。There's another usage for ni causative sentences. As for the intransitive verbs, when they are used with the particle o, then ni causative sentence is used so that we can avoid the duplication of o. Now let's look at some examples of intransitive verbs that use together with particle o. For example, walk. 歩きます、歩きます。run 走ります、走ります。cross 渡ります、渡ります。fly 飛びます、飛びます。depart 出発します、出発します。These verbs are called motion verbs. And then before these verbs, we will use the particle o. So for example, if you want to say, walk in the mountain. Mountain is 山、山. To walk is 歩きます、歩きます。This will be 山を歩きます、山を歩きます。We will use the particle o because 歩きます, this is a motion verb. To cross the street. Street is 道、道. To cross is 渡ります、渡ります。The particle will be を。道を渡ります、道を渡ります。Now let's practice this sentence. The teacher made the children walk through the mountains. So the subject is 先生, and then after this we will use は. And then the doer of the action is 子供たち. This means children. After this we will use the particle に. Mountain is 山. And then to walk is 歩きます. So it will be 山を歩きます. And then we have to make 歩きます into causative form. It becomes 歩かせます. The full sentence is 先生は子供たちに山を歩かせました。先生は子供たちに山を歩かせました。So even though 歩きます to walk is an intransitive verb, we have to use subject は someone に something を causative form structure. Because 歩きます is a motion verb, we have to use the particle を. And in order to avoid duplication, we will use this structure. So it means that if this sentence does not have 山, it will become all causative sentence. So it becomes 先生は子供たちを歩かせました。先生は子供たちを歩かせました。The teacher made the children walk. Another example. Mother made her child cross the road. Cross the road is 道を渡ります。道を渡ります。Causative form is 道を渡らせます。道を渡らせます。So even though 渡ります to cross is an intransitive verb, because this comes together with a particle を, the structure will be like this. お母さんは子供に道を渡らせました。お母さんは子供に道を渡らせました。So this was the second usage for に causative sentence. Now let's look at all causative sentences. For intransitive verbs which do not take the particle を, all causative sentence is usually used. The structure will be like this. A は B を causative for. So for example, I let my child play in the park. So the subject is 私. After this, we will use the particle は in the park. So park is 公園. Since you will take an action at somewhere, the particle will be で. 公園で. And then, doer of the action is child. This is 子供. To play is 遊びます. We will change this into causative form. 遊ばせます. So because 遊びます is an intransitive verb, the structure will be 私は公園で子供を遊ばせます。私は公園で子供を遊ばせます。For intransitive verb, the structure will be A は B を causative form. Another example. My father had my younger brother marry early. My father, this is a subject, so it becomes お父さんは. And then the doer of the action is younger brother. 弟を. And then to get married early. Early is 早く. To get married is 結婚します. So causative form will be 結婚させます. 結婚します is intransitive verb. So the structure will be お父さんは弟を早く 結婚させました。お父さんは弟を早く結婚させました。I made my child go to the post office. Go to the post office is 郵便局へ行きます。We will change 行きます into causative form. 行かせます。行かせます。So 行きます is intransitive verb. Therefore, the structure will be 私は子供を郵便局へ行かせました。私は子供を郵便局へ行かせました。So today we did a review about ni causative sentence and all causative sentence. When verb transitive is used, we will use ni causative sentence. The structure will be A は B に something or causative form. The exception is motion verbs, which are intransitive verbs are used, because these verbs will take the particle o. In this case, we will use ni causative sentence. When intransitive verbs are used, we will use all causative sentences. The structure is A は B を causative form. So this is all for today. Thank you very much for listening. I hope it was helpful for you. If you're interested in Japanese grammars, please check out my YouTube channel. The link is in the description. I also have Facebook page and Instagram page, so please follow them as well. I will see you in the next episode. ありがとうございました。バイバイ。